19-year-old girl trying to live the best life.
Sadly, that got taken away from her way too soon.
On October 5th, 2016, the dead body of a young woman was found at the Duke apartment complex on 900 East Wayne Avenue in Oklahoma. The victim was identified as Jennifer Kylie Malloy, a 19-year-old girl whose fate was sealed on a terrifying night beyond imagination. There were many questions surrounding the suspicious death. What happened to her? Was she killed? And was the perpetrator eventually punished? Born on November 30th, 1996, Jennifer Kylie Malloy was raised alongside her sister, Christina Stanfield. From childhood, Jennifer was lively and a cheerful girl. Her father, John Malloy, called her his smiley girl because she always had a smile on her face.
I miss her. She was my smiley girl.
In 2016, she was a 19-year-old girl who was living her best life independently. She stayed alone in her Duke apartment near the University of Central Oklahoma in Edmond. Her happy spirit made her very dear to all her friends and family members. But she was unaware of her impending tragic destiny. Jennifer had a well-known friend, Joseph Tyler Beck, with whom she had a good relationship. Both of them had attended the same school, and after that, used to work in the same office. Beck was attracted to her and wanted a relationship. It was unclear whether they dated or had a mutual relationship, but something was not going right between them. So Jennifer stopped meeting Beck, but he wanted to meet her. So on October 5th, 2016, he had invited himself to her Duke apartment complex where she lived alone. As a well-known friend, she allowed him inside. They talked for a while and then Beck tried to make romantic advances. But Jennifer refused as she didn't want that and asked him to leave. After some time, he left the apartment. Later, around 1 p.m., an employee of the Duke Apartments discovered Jennifer's lifeless body and informed the Edmond police. After being informed, Edmond police had arrived at the spot and recovered the dead body. Then, police surrounded the area with crime scene tape while officers gathered evidence. Upon receiving the news, Jennifer's family, especially her father, was devastated. They found it hard to believe that Jennifer was gone. After all that they had been through, the family just wanted to know who was the culprit. Soon after the discovery of Jennifer Kylie Malloy's dead body, the Edmond Police Department started an immediate investigation. The EPD started investigating the incident as an unattended death. And after the initial investigation, the EPD reported suspicious circumstances surrounding Jennifer's death. From the condition of the dead body, the authorities were certain that she had been cruelly assaulted and killed. As the next step of the investigation, the authorities examined all the evidence collected from the crime scene to find any leads. Authorities also spoke with Jennifer's family and friends to find out if they suspected anyone in the case. On the other hand, Edmond police started gathering information from residents of the Duke apartment complex where the body was found. By interrogating Jennifer's neighbors, the police learned that Jennifer used to live alone in her apartment. Justin Locust, a neighbor of Jennifer, said, "I'm really just in shock, especially since I have my kids, 3 daughters at that, and the fact that we were all home and didn't hear anything, it's like, wow, it's unreal." The investigating authorities also provided a phone number for the public to call with any information they might have about the case. Later, the EPD mentioned that they got several leads over the years, but no arrests had been made, and the case had remained cold for years. During those years, Jennifer's father, Johnny Malloy, regularly sought updates from Edmond law enforcement, hoping for any progress in the case. Johnny kept waiting for justice and expressed his emotions by saying, "I've been mad, I've been upset and depressed, and of course I miss my daughter. I miss her, she was my smiley girl." But sadly, there was no new development in the case, and Jennifer's father almost lost all his hope of getting closure in the case. But after 8 long years, an unexpected twist occurred. In May of 2004, the Edmond Police Department finally made a significant breakthrough in the case. On Thursday, May 2nd, Oklahoma Highway Trooper Matt Snyder and his team were conducting a routine welfare check on Scott Street, which took an unexpected twist. During the check, a passerby reported that a disturbed young man was sitting on the side of Interstate 40 near the Reno-Scott Street exit. Being informed, Trooper Snyder arrived to check on the man's well-being. Surprisingly, the man on the roadside was none other than the now 28-year-old Joseph Tyler Beck. He appeared visibly disturbed, and as Trooper Snyder approached, he voluntarily started confessing about his involvement in a 2016 murder case in Edmond. He detailed the crime to Trooper Snyder, expressing his guilt for his actions. After hearing the confession, the troopers arrested Joseph Tyler Beck from the roadside. After notifying the Edmond police, they transported him to EPD. On May 3, 2024, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol shared the surprising incident on their Facebook page. The post also included a heartfelt message praising the troopers' work, which read, "This is yet another example of how a trooper never knows exactly what he or she will encounter on the side of the road. Good job by everyone, and we hope this ultimately ends in answers for an Oklahoma family." Eventually, the Edmond Police Department took Joseph Tyler Beck into custody, and detectives questioned him about the 2016 murder case. He willingly confessed what he had done to Jennifer Kylie Malloy on October 5, 2016. Emily Ward, a spokesperson for the EPD, talked about this in an interview.
It was voluntary. He wasn't trying to hold anything back. It seemed that he wanted to get it all off of his chest.
Emily also said things he was saying added up to our investigation. Given the disturbing details he provided, Edmond detectives were confident they had apprehended the right person. Beck confessed that he had known Jennifer for years and they were former co-workers. He also admitted he was attracted to her and wanted a relationship. But Jennifer stopped meeting him as she did not want to continue, as she did not have the same sentiment as he did, and Beck didn't like that. He admitted that he felt like she had wasted his time. So he went to her apartment on October 5, 2016, with the intention to assault her. Jennifer, having no idea about his intentions, let him in, and they talked for a while. But when Beck tried to make romantic advances, Jennifer refused and asked him to leave. The refusal made Beck very violent, and he allegedly started choking her until she was dead. He then left the place, leaving Jennifer's lifeless body behind. However, he confirmed many disturbing details of the case that were not disclosed in the public domain. Surprisingly, after committing the heinous act, he remained silent for years, pretending he knew nothing. After Jennifer's death, he built good relationships with her family members, acting as if he were a caring well-wisher. Jennifer's family also knew Beck for years as her good friend and welcomed him into their family. Later, in an interview, Jennifer's father claimed that Beck had even tried to get into a relationship with Jennifer's sister, Christina, months after Jennifer's death. The fact prompted him to ask in frustration, "What kind of sick individual does that?" However, the EPD recorded all confessions of Beck as strong evidence. And with all the evidence, he was brought to court and found guilty. Joseph Tyler Beck faced a first-degree murder charge and is now serving in the Oklahoma County Jail. Finally, justice was served for Jennifer, bringing relief to her family. Emily Ward claimed authorities had never suspected him in the case in so many years. After Beck's confession, Jennifer's father also could not believe him and described him as a complete blindside. Because everyone in Jennifer's family believed Beck was the sweetest person and had never imagined he could commit such a heinous act. However, Jennifer's father, Johnny, believed that the good Lord had worked in mysterious ways, haunting him every day to confess his sin. Johnny also lamented, "This man has taken so much from my family, and I'm glad he's in jail."
This man has taken so much from my family. I'm glad he's in jail, and I want justice to be served.
In the end, Jennifer's family expressed gratitude to everyone involved in the case and who supported them since Jennifer's death. But after everything, the question persists. Would Edmond police have ever caught Jennifer's killer if he had not surrendered voluntarily?